It's on?
On the night shift, we're gonna make a million.
Young, but we're not making millions for the night shift. Hey, what's going on? Just us talking about Disney, Fox, and their potential merger, which is going to take like 2 years to complete. It's fucking scary, man. It really is. Like, I was just looking at the numbers, and this weekend, the overall box office for the weekend was like 290 million, and Disney Fox now, like whatever they call it, but I'm assuming it's Disney Fox, is like, it had 271 of the 290 million. They had like 96%, because they did, like, Fox released the new movie Ferdinand, which is like an animated movie about like a bull or whatever, and then obviously Disney released Star Wars, which is just a fucking juggernaut. But it's like, Sony didn't release anything, Warner Brothers didn't release anything, Paramount's like nothing, and now like Disney releases 5 major box office tentpole movies. They have the 2 Marvel comic book movies a year. They have their Disney Pixar or whatever movie. They have their yearly Star Wars, and then they have like the 1 extra whatever. But now with Fox, they have 26 out, I believe, 26 releases, and it's scary because Fox has, I think, like a 70% stake in Hulu. And now that Disney buys Fox, they'll own that 70% stake, and then they'll obviously buy out whoever's left over. But the other owners is 10% Warner Brothers, I think 10% Paramount or whatever. So that's why Hulu had everybody's shit. They had all the people's stuff. But now Disney's going to pull all their stuff from Netflix, right? They're going to pull all their ABC shows, like Switched at Birth and fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff.
They were going to do that anyways.
True. But,
yeah, save it for
but
the
now,
podcast. What are you guys talking about?
This is the podcast.
We are.
Shut up. Unless you're going to...
Yeah, say shut up. Continue. No.
So they were going to pull it anyways. But now they don't have to build a platform. Okay. They already have the platform to put everything on. So it might just be a faster process for them to do all that.
Okay, but here's the thing. So if they were going to build their own thing, which they were planning on doing, they were like hiring everyone for it, they were going to put all their stuff and they were going to make original content for it. But Hulu had access to Warner Brothers stuff, Paramount stuff, so everyone's. But now that Disney's going to come in and they're going to buy out everyone and they already own Fox's shit, it's literally going to be Disney and Fox. Why would Warner Brothers want to put their stuff on, like, they wouldn't. And so it's like Hulu's going to get ruined because of it. And not ruined, but like it's going to change completely because of the landscape. And Netflix is going to suffer for it because all their like whatever is going to go away. And it's just going to, like, Hulu's going to become the competitor to Netflix. But it's just going to get so, it's just like...
Well, the biggest thing is like when it's just one company that owns everything.
Yeah. And that's like the scary thing. This weekend was the perfect example of it. 96% of the weekend box office was like ruled by them, and that comes into the bigger picture of if it's Disney doing this one time a year. So they pulled the craziest thing, which is theaters keep 50% and companies keep 50% of box office receipts, right? So if a fucking movie it costs $300 million to make, like Justice League, they have to make $600 million to break even on the movie, right? Because they get that $300 back. That's not including home sales and all that. But Disney straight up went to every theater because they knew how big the Last Jedi was going to be, and they were like, we want 65%. And so Cineplex, which is like Canada's almost monopoly on theaters and whatnot, they increased prices of tickets. They started testing out their new thing where you can go to regular, not Ultra AVX, which is our big premium screen format, but regular theaters, and they start charging $1 to reserve seats in regular theaters. And they had to up concession prices to make their own money back. Yeah. So everyone else suffers, the consumer suffers for it. But also, if they pulled it with Star Wars, it's one movie. Disney only releases 5 movies, right? So it's not that bad. Like, not that bad as in like they can pull this shit one time, but the theaters for every other movie it's still 50%. But now that they own Fox, they're the biggest of all the players. They have the most releases of all the players, and they can now be like, oh, well, fucking, we're Disney Fox. We're going to release 26 movies this year, and if we want 65% of it all. And there's no fucking chance that theaters go, no, we're not playing it. There's no way that theaters are going to give up Alien movies and Planet of the Apes movies and all the Disney movies.
And then you also said there's that restriction on how long.
Oh, yes. And so Star Wars has to be played for a minimum of a month in theaters. And if the theater doesn't agree to either of those things, if it takes the movie out for a month, they have to pay a fine, or they're not allowed to have the movie. Yeah. And so, like you have to realize now that the fucking 6 biggest movies, like obviously Avatar 2, 3, and 4, they all belong to Fox, but now they all belong to Disney. They're gonna be the biggest grossers, like bar none. Like they're gonna be bigger than Star Wars. Avatar's the biggest movie of all time. They can literally ask for whatever they want, and everyone will have to bow down, not like literally bend over for them, because there's no way that you as a business owner that runs a theater is gonna give up billions of dollars.
Easily,
So it gets really fucking scary, and usually the last time this happened, I think in 1970s, I think, the government got involved because like MGM was buying up these theaters, and it was actually a thing where the movie companies owned the theaters themselves, and that was a conflict of interest or whatever, because they could just do like whatever they want.
Show whatever movie they want for however long they want.
Exactly, and so the government came in and they were like, movie companies aren't allowed to own theaters anymore, and it's done. And every time a big thing like this goes through, like Sprint and like the Verizon thing and all that stuff, the government usually gets involved because of shit like that, because of monopolies, potential monopolies and whatever. But like the fact that they're letting this Fox deal go through, like it's fucking insane. Like I think Disney's buying them for $55 billion, but like no one, I don't think a lot of people realize how much properties Fox actually owns, from The Simpsons to Family Guy to like Avatar and all these things. And if fucking Disney owns all that on top of what they already own, on top of their own channel, like Disney has ABC and Disney has this and that, it's like it gets really fucking scary, man. Like I was just like, when I saw 96%, I was like, yo, they can literally charge whatever the fuck they want. If they go to the theater and they go, I want 80% for Avatar 2, nobody will say no. Because Avatar 2 is going to make fucking billions. Like, Avatar 1 made fucking 2.7, the biggest movie of all time. And it really...
we're listening. You're going off, so it's like, just keep going.
Yeah.
No, I know, it's super scary, yeah. I mean, like, capitalism leads to, like, conglomerates. Like, it leads to monopolies. And this is just what's happening, right? Like, this is pure evidence of it. But it's been happening over the years. It's just now it's getting to the point where there actually is. It's funny because, like, this is where, like, I don't have as much, like respect for Gary. Because Gary, like, doesn't talk about this stuff. And he's the one that actually specifically says, like, yeah, you guys can do anything. Because there isn't just 3 white guys running everything. But this is where it's going now, right? It's Disney is the white guy. Yeah, this one mouse, Mickey Mouse,
one mouse to rule the
dude. Like fun fact, actually, like the book Cloud Atlas, it's way in the future. In the book, in that Disney, universe, the movies are called Disney's.
Yeah,
the movie, like that's literally like it's cause.
So you said like essentially in the past 1970s the government got involved.
Yeah,
this is a case where I don't think the government's going to get involved at all. Mostly because when you have as much money and controlling shares, and not just the movie industry, like Disney controls a lot of fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like when you just control enough things, it doesn't matter what government you have. Like enough money will tell you to do whatever.
Yeah, there's a list of 20 companies that are too big to fail. Like this.
So like they might. They're not rule the world in the sense of they're going to have the big evil building in the middle.
Well, guys, corporations are people under law, so, you know.
Yeah. So, like, Mickey Mouse, I hope he's paying his taxes.
I agree with everything you guys are saying, but I almost want to play, like, a little bit of a devil's advocate in, like, this, just the industry sense of, like...
Simran, you're wrong.
I already know that.
Simran's a corporate shill.
I know this is bad. I understand it's bad, but... I'm
gonna pretend it's not real.
Because otherwise we're just gonna be like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, no, we're just fucking around.
Yeah, we're just stroking ourselves, right? So it's like, so in the industry sense, you're gonna have this big fucking massive thing called Disney that just essentially is gonna end up releasing the same movies. Like, you know how you're saying they release like 5 movies a year? Mm-hmm. It's just gonna be like 15 Marvel movies a year. Not like specifically Marvel, but movies that are like that. It's gonna turn into, they're gonna put TV on movie screens, I think. And they're just, because they're going to have enough money and enough studios that are producing whatever they want them to produce, that they can just keep releasing that shit. So when you go to theaters, you're not going to see something original unless it's by somebody fucking huge or massive. So
but, like, aren't you, isn't that saying,
no, but what I'm saying is that
but
I think there's going to be more niche things that open up, like Netflix. They're going to lose all that shit from them. But I think there's going to be more creators that realize that I can't go into the movie industry, so like Netflix might get better because of it. It might be a thing that people kind of flock to instead.
Okay, but before we talk about pulling back for a second, you're like, Disney's gonna come in and with the Fox merger, or whatever, and they're gonna make 15 movies a year, which are all blockbuster tentpole movies, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not so much worried about the quality of the movies or the movies themselves. I'm like looking at all the negatives, like the price of our movies are gonna go up through the fucking roof.
Like, yeah, I don't. That's.
I still don't get what you're saying.
I'm just saying that other things
Could potentially be good.
and like people that don't want that.
How are
and
you
that
going to
want
see them if the theaters are monopolized?
No, you can. There's gonna be there's other things that you can watch. You can go to Netflix. You can go to like different cable subscribers that are showing their own shit. Like Comcast is not owned by Disney. Comcast is a pretty big company that owns a lot of shit. Okay. They're gonna have to keep releasing stuff to compete with Disney. So they might find a different market.
With Disney though? Is that a thing? Is competing with Disney an actual thing? Can you compete with Disney?
I don't know. I'm not too sure about that.
I don't know about that.
Especially after this Fox deal, I'm pretty sure they're
like if you're running Disney, you're not gonna do original stuff. You're gonna do stuff that makes money. So somebody else is gonna have somebody else might come up and take all the original shit, and that's where you can kind of put your money into take it away from the big guy.
The other thing is, so this happens apparently in the like pop industry, like the soda pop industry, or like any just drink industry. Is that like as soon as you come up with something that's good, you get bought out?
Yeah.
Right. So I mean that's so if you make make a good show, Disney will buy you out eventually, and then it's theirs now, and they can do whatever they want with it. They can shut you down, or they'll just keep.
Everyone's creative until they get a check for $100 million, and then it's like, here, have my idea.
Yeah.
Like everyone. Like Netflix. Like how many shows has Netflix? Like literally, people now don't even like go to like big fucking companies that like. So I have like my ex-girlfriend's. Well, my girlfriend. I don't know.
There's this girl he knows.
Yeah,
my pseudo girlfriend.
Yeah, my pseudo girlfriend. I dream
your woman friend.
Yeah, my woman friend that I hope one day will notice me, but she doesn't right now. No, I'm kidding. Her brother like is a director and all that stuff. So, but his right now, it's not even like, oh, go to E1 or go to Sony. It's like legit. You hope that Netflix like will look at your script. Like your friends in the industry, they send out the scripts, they send out the one sheets, I'm pretty sure it's like a
screenplay. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
pilot,
the storyboard. It's called a one sheet or whatever. It has the entire story of the fucking show, and then you give it to them or whatever, and you hope that Netflix or these like things pick you up. It's not like literally the whole thing is get bought out. Have your shit be bought. Yeah. That's it. That's it. And now you have a company that's worth $1 bajillion, and anything good they're gonna buy. And they can now beat out anybody else. In terms of Warner Brothers, Paramount, Sony, they're bigger than all of them, right? Sony was in the running to buy Fox. Sony was in talks with Fox. A bunch of other companies were in talks with Fox, but Disney came and fucking wrote the best deal. Like they wrote the biggest check, $55 million. Robert Murdoch, the owner of Fox, he got 5% stake in Disney, so he's on the board of directors and whatever. And like obviously like money runs the world. And so now you have a fucking super company that used to be 2 of the 5 big players, and they'll just buy out everyone, man. Like Netflix is big. It's 1/10 the size of fucking, not 1/10, but like 1/5 or whatever the size of Disney Fox now. And so Netflix is spending billions on creating original content, and some of their content's fucking amazing, right? Stranger Things, a bunch of their shows are great. But now it's like this other guy comes and goes like, yo, that's a great idea. I know Netflix is fucking gonna pay you $25 million, but like I'll give you 35, and you're gonna sell to that. Like, well, that's just how it works.
I guess. I don't know.
No, it's so scary. I don't know, because it's all those dystopian things are like they're so like accurate.
Megala fucking one company like a oh fuck man, it's just any one thing that owns too much.
But I mean, that's like again, that's what I was saying. Is that's where the economic this capitalist stuff is. That's where it leads to. Is obviously you want to buy out your competitor, and then
you run the show,
and then you make more money because they're making money for you now. And
Superman taught me one thing: absolute power corrupts absolutely. So I can't trust the mouse.
They only Sith deal in absolutes.
Exactly, and what was that thing that you said, Sim? Disney is absolutely gonna run this world. So I don't know, man. It's some scary shit, and
I'm going back to your guys' side. It's fucked.
No, Sim was always on our side. He was just trying to play devil's advocate.
It wasn't very good because I can't really think of any
positives. Yeah, I'm literally,
I mean, and the positive, like, at least the X-Men are gonna be in
the Avengers. Yeah! And then I thought about that, and then I realized that all the original X-Men actors are gone, and Wolverine's not playing Oh, sorry, Hugh Jackman's not playing. Wolverine's not playing Wolverine. The Hugh Jackman's not playing
No,
Wolverine.
they'll start it again, but they're gonna do it Marvel style, and they're gonna do it well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like, to me, Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like, I see someone else, and I'll be like Robert Downey Jr. The next Iron Man, I'm gonna just hate him.
Well, it depends how they introduce the next Iron Man.
True.
Right.
True.
It's
a girl. It's a black girl this time.
Some people, they're wrong, but some people view Tobey
They're
Maguire.
wrong.
They view Tobey Maguire as like the best Spider-Man.
Oh,
he's not the best Spider-Man.
yeah.
This guy is probably the best.
Tom Holland
Yeah.
is like my
And then
favorite.
Andrew Garfield doesn't exist. He was never Spider-Man at all. But like, it's just personal preference, right? Like somebody, like if they introduce a new Iron Man, like this is turned into a Marvel.
Yeah, wait. Before we can go on that tangent really quickly. My biggest fear is that we actually see it right now. Like, so the negatives are already already started. Like the positives, what you were talking about, like the potential of like, oh, you know, like more creativeness comes out of this. Like, you know, like all the big guys makes all the little guys work harder to come up with new shit.
Yeah.
Sure, that could potentially happen, but right now we're like all we see is just fucking prices go up.
You could argue that like they're like Disney is cool enough that like when you do get bought out, it's like, oh, like they'll have a division that's like supporting indie, blah 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 blah. But they could still. The problem with that still though is that like they still have the say, right? They still have the like, oh, could you just make it like a white dude though? You know what I mean? Like they still have the say in.
But not even that.
but
It's like, hey, you know your indie thing? Can you just have Iron Man for one scene? And like you have to work it in though.
No,
but
that's
this
the
is
thing.
about like flowers. Like no, but you need to put Iron Man in.
So that's the thing. So like I already know that with Disney, they don't fuck around. It's like Kathleen Kennedy, the fucking president of like Star Wars, the guys that did 21 Jump Street, they wanted to do their own version of Star Wars. I think for the Han Solo film, and Kathleen Kennedy was like, "Yup, you're fired." So they got fired off that, and then they directed the new Spider-Man movie. Colin Trevorrow, the director of Jurassic World. He was going to do a Star Wars movie, and then he was going to do episode 9, and then Kathleen Kennedy was like, nope, I don't like what you're doing. She fired him, and then they brought back J.J. Abrams to direct number 9. For Marvel, Kevin Feige, like, he fucking runs the tightest ship ever.
Yep.
For Ant-Man, it was supposed to be that super awesome indie director or whatever, and he had his vision for Ant-Man, and then Kevin Feige was like, you're fucking fired. And then for... a bunch of Marvel movies, like Disney's already shown that it doesn't fuck around when it comes to giving anyone creative freedom.
It's whoever runs whatever department they're in has the plan, and if you don't fit into their plan,
you're done.
You do have some creative freedom. Like even Thor Ragnarok, you could tell had some like creative freedom. Guardians of the Galaxy, the guy who James Gunn, Tim Gunn,
Josh Gunn,
James Gunn. Like you can see that he almost won his freedom from the first one, making so much money and like doing.
Well, they're
so
just
well.
like, yeah, whatever he does will make money.
Yeah. So like they're like, okay, you can do it, but like it's very, the leash is very
tight, and
like,
that's
so to like you have to do it in that little bit, and if you do, then they'll give you more freedom to do what you want.
So Taika Waititi, the director of Thor Ragnarok, he fucking killed it with Thor Ragnarok. He had to follow like such a strict thing, and he's an indie director through and through, right? So they had to he was surprised at how much freedom they gave him, but like he did a really good job. And as soon as that movie released and it made like the first weekend, it made worldwide like $300 million or some shit. Kathleen Kennedy, the fucking president of Lucasfilms, she was like, yeah, if Taika Waititi wants, we'll give him like a fucking Star Wars movie. And Taika Waititi's like, nah, bro, I'm good. Like I'm gonna get fired in the first week. Because everyone in the industry knows Disney does not fuck around. Like, it's their way or, like, the highway. And literally all these... Josh Trank got fired. The guy that directed the superhero movie with the crazy white guy. Like, he becomes evil. It's like the indie superhero movie we always talk about. They all get...
Fight Club.
Yeah. No. Josh Trank. It's the black guy from Creed. And
Fantastic Four.
But before Fantastic Four, the reason he was on Fantastic Four, it's this movie. It's the white guy.
He was the Friday Night Lights.
Chronicles. Yeah. So.
You don't always talk about that.
Well,
first time you brought it up.
Anyways, Josh Trank. He wanted to do his own thing for the Star Wars movie. He got fired. Like out of all the fucking companies that like have these
that don't fuck around,
fuck around. Disney like it
doesn't
makes
fuck
like it doesn't give a fuck if you made like Jurassic World made 1.7 billion dollars. Colin Trevorrow went from no name to fucking like boom, he's right up there with like he can make a fucking sick movie. And he's like, oh, I want to do Star Wars this way. And Kathleen Kennedy was like, get the fuck out. Like, I don't give a fuck if you make 1.7 billion. You're fucking nobody. Like, this is my company.
Yeah.
Like George Lucas couldn't tell Kathleen Kennedy to do it, and it's his fucking like
his property.
Yeah,
all the characters.
Not anymore, but yeah, like it's crazy. Like Disney doesn't fuck around. So hopefully, you know, Disney sponsors it. No, but
Disney buy us.
Yeah,
please.
Disney buy us.
We'll do whatever you want.
It's so funny because you guys are like working on your fucking sitcom, and then Disney comes to you guys, and you guys are like, wait. Do we get creative freedom? They're gonna be like, no.
Do I get Selena Gomez?
Yeah. Do we get
she was a Disney before.
Yeah, there you go. It's like similar to be like, do we get creative freedom? Disney's gonna be like, no. It's like, all right, well here it is, and sign the check. No, but hopefully they don't.
But like an example of that, like that company that can be kind of nice about it, is from what we hear, at least externally, is Rooster Teeth sounds like they're very free with like creative stuff or whatever. Although there was that thing with Achievement Hunter or whatever, that guy that went on his own stream, but then they wanted to call it the Rooster Teeth stream.
Oh yeah, Ray.
Whatever. So yeah, so I mean like, there's like examples of that potentially, I guess, but even then, like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, even they've kind of tried to change some of their image a little bit. Like some of the things that would be okay in their first couple of years of saying, they just don't do anymore, right? But like in terms of giving their kind of departments and stuff free reign to do whatever they want. It's like if they buy you out or like put you into their company, the reason they put you in is because they like what you do and they're gonna let you keep doing what you do. Whereas Disney, if they buy you and they put you in their company because they like what you do, they're gonna be like, well, like you should still kind of do it this way.
Yeah.
Because now you're Disney. Like now, before all your credits and shit start rolling, the word Disney with that fucking castle comes on the screen. So make sure that you do it this way and you don't do it the 100% way that you were doing it before. Yeah. You can do like 70% of that. But 30% of what we want is going to be in there.
I don't think there's like any like to play devil's advocate or whatever, air quotes for those of you listening. I don't think like any companies that make money, like all companies will step in, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, Rooster Teeth. I feel like being a video game nerd, like Sony is really open with like the stuff they let their companies do. They'll like give them a lot of leeway. There's a lot of special titles that most companies wouldn't like fund. But at the end of the day, like, the company's there to make money, and fucking Disney knows they have their game plan, and like it's that 5 movies a year, every year. They don't fuck around with little small titles, like the home to the straight to DVD release and stuff. Sure, like that's whatever. But I mean, like the theatrical release.
Those actually make a lot of money though.
Yeah,
so.
but
I think this goes back to also like short term, because the way you're saying like company has to make money. That's a very short-term thing when it comes to Disney. Like you're saying how they have to pump out a movie that they know is going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like those smaller indie whatever things that are like not mainstream, those still make money, but not in the short term, right? Like it takes time to build a following with like a weird indie, something that you've never heard of. But it's just whether they're willing to invest in that or not, right? Like Rooster Teeth is, like just as an example, they kind of are. Like, oh, this is some weird following of some video that's like, I've never seen that style before. Which eventually will make money because people always like niche things, but obviously Disney from like capitalism is very like short term, like whatever, right? Like you want to make short term profit. So if you can pump out Avatar every fucking year, you'll do it because it's the fastest way to the most income.
Which is also happening. that 2021, 2022, 2023. But yeah, well that's the thing. Like it's short term, but like they've mastered it. And the scariest thing is like those indie titles that you're talking about. They can make the following. They might like not make a lot of money right from the get go. It might take a long time or whatever.
But I mean, you think you think Disney would maybe realize that maybe that stuff does eventually make money at some point too?
I don't think they care.
I guess so.
They don't like if
well.
But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But it's not about the movie itself. Like Disney doesn't give like the movie is fucking peanuts to them. They need something that they can fucking franchise and milk the shit out of. Whether it's toys,
well, that's what I was gonna say. They know how to make money off of
add it to Disneyland. So, like
they could take something indie and start making money off of it. Like if they see the potential in it, kind of thing. But then they're gonna make it Disney. They're not gonna make it what it was before. They're gonna do things to change it to make money, kind of thing. But like that's one of their strengths is that's what they do. They take something that was kind of like Star Wars made a lot of money. But now it makes a fucking shit ton of money because Disney knew how to take it and make it into something huge. Yeah. Like every year during Christmas, there's gonna be a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the you can set your calendar. Be like, well, in May there's going to be a big Marvel movie. In December there's going to be a big Star Wars movie. I'm going to have probably 2 more Marvel movies in the middle. Now they're going to add more things to every month. You don't even need to know what month it is. You can just be like, oh, it's Spider-Man month.
Yeah, Disney movie's
Spider-Man,
coming up.
yeah. And like you can like that's you're trying to make your whole life.
And so that's great if it worked for everyone. But now that there's one big release every month, and now that already Cineplex is charging more for concession for movie tickets, like. It's just gonna fuck everyone over because now they have that power to be like, oh wait, like our movie's gonna make $1 billion every single month. Theaters we want fucking 70%, like or 65, like they're asking for.
If you want to remain ignorant to it all and you're okay with paying, like you're gonna have like a cool ass X-Men movie every year.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a cool ass fucking Marvel thing every year.
Cool ass Planet of the Apes movie. Yeah.
You're gonna have a movie where like Hulk might fight Wolverine. Like you might have that. Like. If you just want to like just put all the other stuff in a box to the side kind of thing, that's pretty fucking awesome. You're gonna get like an hour and a half of Hulk and Wolverine smashing each other, pretty much. So,
yeah. But also, like if they monopolize everything, they could actually just pump out like shit movies and
nobody else has.
Nobody else has movies. So they could do the Hulk and Wolverine fight, but it could be shit. But you have to watch it because there's nothing.
That's all you got.
That's you gotta pay $16 for the ticket.
Yeah,
16. It was already 16. Now it's like 18.
I think it won't be though. I think.
No, for a while it'll be. I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure, yeah, it'll be cool for a while. It's a long ways from dystopia, but we're heading pretty quickly in that direction. That's all. And on that note, let's go watch Star Wars.
Yeah, and put money into their pockets. Cheers, guys.